So Indigenous Foodscapes was a 2-year pilot project. It was a native plant and indigenous pedagogy pilot project, aiming to bring traditional food knowledge and place-based practices into the classroom and onto school grounds across the City of Vancouver. We received some funding from the City of Vancouver and Ministry of Public Safety and Solicitor General. We distributed that funding to 9 schools across the City of Vancouver to both develop an Indigenous Foodscapes on school grounds and to then integrate that Foodscapes into the classroom through field trips and workshops and other activities.
We need to get our children outside. We need to get them reconnected to who we are, which is we're part of nature, right? We have a role in our ecosystem. Because I've been learning about plants my whole life, I thought, well, plants connect us in so many ways, right? Language, stories, science, nutrition, anatomy.
An Indigenous Foodscapes is both a physical space for growing and engaging with native plants and plants that have traditional food and medicine value, as well as a social space for community to come and gather to connect with each other and with the earth and the plants, to share knowledge and to eat and learn together. The first step was to develop an Indigenous Foodscapes working group, which is a network of community members, knowledge keepers, organizations in the community who are engaging in this type of work already, committing to kind of place-based pedagogy work. And we brought these people together to kind of create a sounding board for our process.
So the Foodscape grant started a project where my class could be the focus, but we could involve the whole school. When we made the cedar boxes that we put in, we had all grades and we had all abilities. And kids in my class love being outdoors and they love the garden. They love digging, planting, caring for the plants, rolling over the rocks. It really spoke to all kids who had an interest, from those who were have cognitive or social emotional or physical, as well as kids who are gifted. One child that was struggling in school and came to the class for social emotional learning discovered he was gifted in the class, and he did a beautiful artistic, professional, publishable map of the garden.
These spaces are critical in our urban environment because often, our urban Indigenous youth, they don't have easy access to such spaces. So it brings so much richness that they can connect and be in relation with the plants, with food in a way that is very intentional, and through the teachings they learn. And it's not just Indigenous children. I think it's non-Indigenous children. It's everyone who can be a part of that learning. Young people are so into the digital world. I think it actually these opportunities, these spaces, these educational experiences bring them back in touch with, the real world, which is the land in which they sit on and they stand on, and being able to touch that, I think, brings back a sense of connection. For us as Indigenous peoples, if we're engaging in, projects such as the Indigenous Foodscapes, it's about reclaiming the language too of our plants and making that visible to everyone.
I'll be working with the Indigenous Education Department at Vancouver School Board to develop posters that kind of showcase some native plants in our community in both Hunkaminam and Squamish languages.
Providing these opportunities across the district, it is kind of an untapped opportunity for the education system. I think there's a lot of value in that, and it's underappreciated.
So it really, really built community and a sense of pride.
When we get back into this relationship, everything else can fall into place. It really sets us on the right path to sustaining a world for the whole planet